I'm Bob Cobb from the Bassmasters, and this is LD and the MC.
Well, as the great Bob Cobb just said, you have found yourself with LD.
Are we going? And the MC. I'm ready. I'll take my glasses off.
Can I just stop? You're supposed to be the professional here.
I don't take this professional.
Okay. Well, as long as we've got that out there. Hello. Merry Christmas, MC.
I'm feeling very festive, and you are looking very festive.
I don't know if you noticed this hat or not, Dave, but the dollar store in Southern Tennessee spot on this morning for this LD and the MC episode 9 and what I like to call our Christmas extravaganza.
So going to be a banger.
Yes, it is. I hope our children don't hear that either one of us have ever said banger, or we'll never live it down.
the only reason that I use the word banger is to embarrass my children.
Yes, we are the dad joke kings, ladies and gentlemen, and we have our kids. I think are your kids embarrassed that you're on YouTube? Because mine, they kind of lean that way, especially when I use terminology like banger.
No, I mean
this episode will drop. It's going to drop.
They're embarrassed to me in general. I don't think it's a YouTube
Christmas
thing. YouTube may be the least embarrassing crap that I do in there.
Okay.
But no, my kids are actually pretty supportive of this crap. I mean, they're always the first ones to go like it and that sort of thing.
That's good.
They like it, and that's important. I'm learning
Very
in the
important.
world. It's very important to like it, like right away as soon as you start playing. So
comment.
If you're watching right now, you should be liking and commenting. You could do that while you're watching. Yeah, they like it. And they like, you know what? One of their favorite parts, Luke, is MBM, Mom's Basement Moment.
Okay.
And, we got a good one this week, and this one is good because, I mean, this is fun. It's fun, really, and that's what's the most fun for me. And then, we have a lot of fun here. Some people like it, some people don't like it. And one particular man, Charles Purcell, I believe his name is.
Yeah, Charles.
Charles jumped in and he was right to the point. He said, watched our show and here's his feedback. Get rid of the bullshit. I mean, straight to the point.
You don't have to worry about what Charles is thinking.
I like a man like that. Wears his emotions on his sleeves, right there. So, I mean, he was good enough to comment, so I was good enough to reply. And I said, Charles, thanks for the feedback, of course.
Of course, yeah.
Please help me understand which parts are bullshit and which parts are not. Again, straight to the point with him.
Yeah.
Charles did not get back to me yet, but Coley Little jumped in, another one of our viewers, and I thank him for that. And he said, is this Dolphin Head 2012?
What a great callback.
And as if that's not enough, Tori Tucker jumps in after that. Again, still waiting to hear from Charles. But Tori jumps in and he says, I like the bullshit.
Yeah.
Please double down on the bullshit. So,
well, we brought props to add to the bullshit.
So, we doubled down on bullshit.
Oh, there it is.
Look at that. I mean, if you're listening on a streaming service, this
shame on you, first of all.
That you should tune in and listen to us on YouTube because we have costumes, we have apparatuses. So my question to you is, I don't know whether we need to double down, eliminate bullshit, add more bullshit, but
I think we did.
I think we did a bit of both. But the question I have to you is these fine people that like, comment, subscribe, and give us feedback and really just drive the bus on this entire show.
Yeah.
My question to you is, did we figure out the debate last week? What are we referring to them? If you listen to Low Budget Live, you are a low lifer. If you listen to LD and the MC, you are
I think we got to go humper. I know it's hump day. You find us on a Wednesday. Close second for me. And I told you this, maybe just because of low lifers, but I saw, and I apologize because I forget who commented this, but I saw, well, because we listened during the middle of the week, we're obviously no lifers. I like that one too. But humpers, Dave, bring on those humpers. Oh,
Humpers.
my hat's going. My hat's going. Oh, I saved it.
The humpers is strong, and my favorite part about that is when I make the humping motion wearing this shirt. I don't know if my mic picks it up, but you can actually hear the little reindeer bells.
You know, I'm getting that right here under my ornaments.
And hey, man, we can't have a lot, Luke. I mean, but we don't want a lot. I mean,
we don't want a lot.
Episodes deep, but what we do want is we want our little part of the world. And if Wednesday is the humpers have spoken.
The humpers have spoken.
And if we can carve out a little niche to be like top humper cast, I mean, I'll feel successful in life.
I feel like the humpers have spoken and they stuck their collective flag just right there. Just right there in Wednesday.
Humpers it is. Humpers
it is. So welcome, humpers. Welcome, humpers. You are now a humper, whether you enjoy that or not. I'm sorry if that makes us lose any of you humpers out there. We may have a recount.
And if you're not a humper, if you don't identify as a humper, you can be a potter. I mean, the Potters were close.
Yes,
Potters were close.
Very close. Very close.
So you've got low lifers on Monday. We got humpers on Wednesday.
Like it.
And you actually have another job, and it actually almost kind of became official last week because kind of right after we recorded LD and the MC, that other job of yours made an announcement. Talk to me about it.
They did, and you actually texted me right after and said, "Hey, thanks, buddy. We could have talked about this, but we were already finished recording, and the announcement hadn't came out. And I felt like it was, it was not officially official yet. So the National Professional Fishing League, or the league as we like to refer to it, I will be doing the live commentary there for 21 hours per event. And it became, as I said earlier this week on LBL, it became real. It became legitimate, even more so. We have meetings every week and things, but until you have a schedule, it's still just kind of a pipe dream. So they announced their schedule, 6 events. The championship has not been announced yet, but I was pretty excited about it, man. I think that it's something working with these guys, and through working with Bass this year, scheduling is a nightmare, to say the least. And when you are a new league with no history, it was even more of a challenge for those guys, without a doubt, with some of these tourism, departments in these cities and things. So I was very excited to see them get something out there and locked and loaded. And I feel like it's like you said about the Bass Elite schedule. I feel like for the time, I feel like it's a really good schedule. Really good schedule.
Speak to me about timing, because I'll be honest. Oh my goodness! Wow, right in front of my very eyes, he became.
Can I pull that off? No, we're gonna put that down. It's distracting. What about this one, Dave?
I felt bad about being bald.
Oh,
saw you without a hat.
What? What?
There must have been some magic in that old silk pipe he smoked or whatever.
Yes.
We're getting distracted. So I'm not looking at you anymore. Okay. But tell me this. I mean, the NPFL is number one. Who's probably questioning who the hell they've hired, because you've had literally 2 costume changes, 3 costume changes.
One wouldn't fit. One didn't fit.
I hear you. I've had that problem. Trust me.
For sure.
But I'll be honest, when NPFL was first announced, long before we were doing this and long before you had your gig with them, my initial reaction, totally honest, was there's no need. Well, why does the fishing industry need the National Professional Fishing League? You know what I mean? Like, I was like, well, why? There's FLW, there's Bass. It felt like the itches were being scratched, if that makes sense, for the industry. You know what I mean? Everybody wanted to fish as a pro. The last thing I thought we needed was another outlet for pros, just because in some ways you could argue that too many pros makes it tougher on the pros. Move the clock forward all these many, months later and years later, literally, because of all the COVID thing and everything. And FLW was bought, obviously, and is no more, is now the Big Five. And I ask you this, number one, does this league make more sense today than it did when it was initially announced? And number two, is that brilliance by the league
or luck, or so I am, and I've been very vocal about this. I was very much in the same camp as you when this announcement came out. As a matter of fact, and my bosses at NPFL will tell you that I was borderline rude in turning them down to even come on the podcast when they first announced, because I was like, great, you guys got a tournament trail. Guess what? I do too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's easy to make that post. Hey, we're starting a pro league. Oh, okay. And it's like I'm saying now with the schedule, that makes it that much more legitimate. But getting to know these guys, I've really enjoyed getting to know them and hearing their plans and why they think this was necessary. But I do, Dave, I think now more than ever, it definitely has a place. And I think we're seeing that. And nobody saw any of this coming with FLW, in my opinion, with it, being absorbed by MLF, that name going away. There's rumor that pro circuit's going to go down to 75 boats next year instead of 150. Where are all these guys going to fish that have been fishing for a very long time? So NPFL is going to be 125 boats. And I think it fits this niche of what FLW used to fit. And I think you would agree with this. FLW for a long time was 6 events and a working man's trail to a certain extent, right? Like, I mean, I worked at TH Marine, but I was also a quote professional angler, and I was out there fishing professional level events, but I could leave an FLW and go back to work. And there were so many guys like that because it's not easy to make a living just as a professional angler. We talk about this all the time. I think that the Elite Series is there for a guy that devotes his life to being just that, a professional angler. And I know that there are a lot of guys that fish the Elite Series that have other jobs that sacrifice time away from those jobs or they own their own businesses or whatever. But I think the Elite Series is that, and always has been that. You're all in, man. It's like I interviewed Pat Schlopper on LBL this week. He quit his freaking job just to try to qualify, man. Like, it is very much that. But with 6 events, and some of you listening to this are going to go, well, my boss is not going to let me fish 6 professional events.
And
I get it.
Before you go further, just to help back up this, I mean, there is always exceptions to the rule. There's guys on the elites that have jobs, and there was guys on FLW that did it for a living, that didn't have jobs. But what you're saying, and I totally agree, is definitely the norm is to fish the elites and that be your full-time job.
Yes.
And the norm was definitely the majority of the guys on FLW. It was the working man's, and a great result for that, because it allows you, the way the schedule came out, to do both things.
That's right. And you could fish for big money, because there's a lot of people that want to fish for that, that high stakes, high reward, high risk. They want to fish for bigger payouts, 6-figure paydays, all that stuff that you don't get to in a weekend type trail, and you're good enough to do it, but you can't necessarily just chase it full time for 10 months out of the year, whatever the case may be. So I feel like NPFL definitely falls into that again. And for me, something I've said about them is I feel like there's a lot of transparency in what they're doing. There's not a lot of BS. Like, it's not, hey, we're waving this new shiny thing in front of you. We're going to change the world. It's a bass tournament. It's just a bass tournament trail. They're going to have 6 tournaments. Here's what your entry fees are. Here's what the payout is. And we're going to try live coverage. Pretty simple, and not to say that it's not a trail where you can make a living. It's hard to make a living just fishing 6 events. I mean, I think that's fair to say. It's hard to make a living as a professional only fishing 6 events. But I think that it's going to be a trail for guys to really learn a lot about themselves, fishing that high, dude, you pay 30 grand in entry fees. And some of these guys, it's their first time doing that. That's a lot right here on you. Plus the travel, the live coverage. But I think if you are serious about a career on the Elite Series, BPT, whatever, like, it's a really good place. And it does fit a niche where you can learn. You can learn how this deal works. You can learn how the sponsor game works. So I'm excited to see. And that being said, you've also got guys like we're seeing Keith Carson sign up, who's just won the last. I mean, this dude could fish anywhere he wants to fish, but he's going to fish there. It's going to be interesting, man. But I think that if you asked me 2 years ago, I'm like, I don't know. But now the way the entire industry has shaken out, I think it's going to be around to stay, man. I really do.
Does it become, if you look back on MLF, for example, I mean, if you really, business wise, I think like before MLF was, the Bass Fishing League, before they tried to become a league, when it was literally MLF, it was a TV show.
Yes.
I think it worked perfectly for a lot of anglers. And I think a lot of those anglers, if they look back, they were just like, man, we had it so good because it complemented their income somewhere else. So Mike, you know what I mean? They could fish FLW, they could fish the Elite Series. They made their living where they made it, but then they went and did this, and it was an extra thing, and it was a great media source. But it didn't mess with anything.
That's right.
So do you see the NPFL? A few different options it can go. Does it become that complementary thing for a lot of Opens anglers and a lot of Toyota Series anglers, because they can also compete in it? Or does it become its own different route to becoming a successful pro? Or is it just a combination of all of that?
To me, it's a combination, because I think you're going to have, I think it's certainly, the schedule is around the Bassmaster Open. So it's not scheduled on top of the Opens where guys can do both, because they certainly don't want to, stop anybody from doing that. They've got some conflicts with FLW unintentionally, but FLW schedule was, was out, and unfortunately they couldn't get around a couple dates there. But I think in a perfect world, they'd like to be around everybody and it be this complimentary thing, be its own thing. But like I said, just be a combination of all, man. I think that they've got a lot of plans for down the road, and, it's obviously one stepping stone at a time, but I don't think anywhere in their plans it's to be the next Bass. Bass does their thing. They don't want to be FLW. They just want to do what they do, and they want to do it well. And I think as long as you don't have, and this is something I've said publicly before, I think as long as you don't have that divide and conquer mentality, there's room for it. And I think what we've seen in bass fishing, obviously, and you've lived it and I've lived it, is the divide and conquer mentality that we've been facing has been problematic. Like it is, and it will continue to be, because it's a very small industry. And as long as you got one guy running over here going, yeah, they do this the wrong way, and then you got another guy running over here and going, yeah, we do this the right way. He's like, forget what that guy told you, and it's just a constant, our numbers are better. No, our numbers are better. No, our numbers are better. As long as you get that, it's problematic. But I think as long as they stay in their lane, do what they do, respect all parties involved that are already out there in the industry, they'll be just fine, man.
Yourself, Fat Cat, working the mic?
Yep. And soon to be one more.
Who? You're not going to tell me, are you?
I'm not.
This is an opportunity.
I can't. This was a very, very big opportunity, and I just blew you off, MC.
Wow.
Right there. But coming soon, I think right after the first of the year, there will be an announcement. And I will say this, it will absolutely blow some minds.
Okay. I'm going to give you a quick quiz. Okay.
Okay.
Is it somebody in the industry that we know?
Yes.
That many people know?
Yes.
Is it somebody associated with a current league?
Yes.
Is it somebody I like?
Yes.
That makes the list short.
Very short. It got really short.
He's not going to tell us.
No, I'm not going to tell you because of, contracts and whatnot. But I will say this, I think it's going to be a shocker for a lot of people. And especially given some of my history with things in the last year with where this person resides.
Is it Boyd Duckett? Is it freaking you and Boyd Duckett? I mean, I will.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Every single one.
Merry Christmas.
Hercules.
It's actually Boyd and Jim are splitting it up. Jim Wilburn's going to do 3 events, and Boyd Duckett's going to do the rest. And you guys are all welcome to tune in. No, it's an angler. It's an angler. I'll give you that. And you guys can stew over that in the comments, but it is an angler. And that currently fishes another circuit. I'll give you that and hope that I don't get fired over that nugget alone. But I'm really excited about it, and I think a lot of people are going to be surprised. But I think as you know, with the coverage, we're new to this. You're a freaking veteran of live coverage. You know how hard it is to pull off what you guys pull off, and so you know I'm excited, but I'm a little nervous because I am carrying on and joining in with the likes of Tommy Sanders and Mark Zona and freaking, you know, Dave Mercer, who I've watched for years in live coverage. And what I keep telling, it's just like I said about the league overall. And I keep telling the guys is we just got to be ourselves, you know, for better or worse. Like be yourself. Don't try to be Fox, ESPN too. You know what I'm saying? Like let it be what it's going to be. And, you know, we're really excited, man. I hope we get to tell, you know, a lot of angler stories that otherwise wouldn't get told.
Yeah.
This year. I love that part of it.
I think that's the best advice that you just gave. Honestly, it's the advice I give, you know, pros that at all levels, whether they're, you know, collegiate guys working their way up or people that have made a bunch of classics. You know, routinely I'll get myself in a situation where somebody will say, hey man, I'm just not comfortable on stage. You know, what are the number one tip I give them all is just be yourself. Yeah. I mean, would it make my job easier if everybody was Gerald Swindle and I could just like take a water break when they come up? Yes, but everybody isn't Gerald Swindle, and that's what makes the show cool when you're
absolutely.
And that's what people. Not everybody identifies with Gerald Swindle. You know what I mean?
That's right. So he drives some people crazy. Yeah.
Everybody has to be themselves. So that is the best advice, and I look forward to watching and seeing how it all works out. But the other thing we're going to be watching is the Opens, and they actually have a schedule. I mean, I think Bass was reacting to the NPFL. I mean, you guys threw your schedule out there, and Bass was like, "Quick, feverishly, we need to get something. Somebody
post this. Somebody post this. Ronnie, where's Ronnie? Ronnie, make a post."
So Bass's Open schedule came out, and thoughts?
Was really good, man. I actually thinking about throwing my hat in the ring in one of the divisions. Because,
come on,
I'm missing some tournament angling, but and this is just me being selfish. But one of the divisions, 2 of the events are less than 2 hours from my house. So I'm like, hey, okay, at good times of the year. And then the third event there, this is the Central Division, Grand Lake to end the year. I like Grand a lot. I've fished out there in the fall many times, so. I think I'm gonna throw my hat in that ring, but overall, man, I think it's pretty good for me. And I talked to a couple of Opens guys. You know, we split the divisions now because we've been doing the 2, and for years we had 3, and there were 3 tournaments.
2 divisions with 4 events.
2 divisions with 4 events. Correct. And now we've got 3 with 3. So to do the combo points thing, you've got to fish 9 events now. So 1 extra week. The only thing that was concerning for me, if I was one of those guys, because that's a hell of a commitment. 9 weeks is a hell of a commitment, and you should be rewarded for that. We've talked that to death. Like if you're sacrificing that much, those points should matter more in that overall points race. But I think there are 3 events in the month of April.
Oh,
you know, combine. It's going to be a gauntlet. You know, some are spread out, some are, you know, a little more smashed in there. So, but overall, I think it was strong, man. I think it's good lakes at good times. It'll definitely be interesting.
It'll be interesting, and I like that they stuck with the overall. I mean, I would have loved to see them go heavier on overall, to be honest. And I know that's going to get a bunch of comments here and hate where people are like, you're ruining the Opens. The Opens are supposed to be just my 3. And I get it. I mean, you can still make the Elite Series through fishing 3 Opens.
For sure.
You can still make the Classic through fishing 3 Opens. But let's be honest, especially at the state that the industry is right now, with a bunch of guys that want back in the Elite Series and that sort of thing, you need most of the guys that are trying to that are going through the Opens and they're realistic, their goal, their business plan, not just man, I'd love to qualify for the elites. And if I do, I'll take that opportunity. I'm talking about somebody who's like, my business plan is to qualify for the Bassmaster Elite Series. Most of them are fishing all of the Opens anyways. I mean, they're not just fishing one division. So I think it kind of leans towards that, but it still allows, you know, so we're going to have 3 qualifiers from each division. So that'll give you 9 qualifiers, and then we'll make it 12 qualifiers with the 3 from the overall. So I think it allows it, gives a little bit more love to those guys that are fishing all of them, gives them more opportunities, but it still allows it to be what some people want it to be. I mean, I think Bass in a situation where they're trying to keep everybody happy, and it's a kind of a perfect happy medium schedule, I guess.
I think it's great. I saw, a few complaints, no Texas lakes on there. It is a little bizarre that the central schedule is Pickwick Lake, Smith Lake, and Alabama. And
I think we need a compass. I think we need a compass.
It's a little bizarre how we design these, it's like the Northern Division. Hey, we're going to the James River in Virginia. Like, what? That's not really a Northern, the Toyotas / Costas are always bad about that. They go to the freaking Potomac. I'm like, can we just do 3 smallmouth events for that Northern Division instead of coming all the way down here? I think the Northern Division of Bass went to Douglas one time in Eastern Tennessee too. And I'm like, that doesn't really make sense, but okay. So I can understand where some Texas, those Texas heavy guys, they like that old Central Division, which was primarily Texas, Oklahoma lakes. You might get a Lake of the Ozarks in there or something every now and then, or Table Rock. But overall, man, I think it's going to be a fun one to watch. That Northern schedule. I'm not a big James River guy.
No,
I'm not a big James River guy just because I don't know, something about me and tidal fisheries has never really set well together. And I think that Northern Division for me, it's got Oneida and it's got Clayton, New York on there, which are just these dynamite smallmouth fisheries. And you'd like to see like one more thrown in there, up in that region for me, instead of the James. I think because there are great largemouth fisheries up there too, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you could go to, what's the lake that you guys didn't get to go to this year? Dadgummit.
Starts with a C. Like a lot of lakes.
Cayuga.
That's it. Exactly.
Cayuga. And it's a great largemouth fishery. You'd like to see something like that would be really cool in that schedule, but you're never going to make everybody happy. That's for sure. And my hat's off to the guys that are going to fish all 9, because it's going to be a gauntlet, but this year was a gauntlet.
Well, one thing that'd be cool about the Northern thing too, and I think it was the sleepy assassin, Austin Felix, that pointed it out himself. And he said, hey man, the elites are done, middle of July. I might have a bunch of free time to jump in some of those Northern. So there might be a bunch of Elite Series anglers fishing the Northern.
Of course.
It's after the Classic kind of deal. So it'll be kind of neat to see, a bunch of guys trying to jackpot those Northerns to try and get in the Classics and maybe miss the Classic. So it'll be neat. But honestly, I think that everybody's schedule, whether it's Bass, whether it's NPFL, whether it's FLW, whether it's MLF, the way you need to look at a schedule this year is we have a schedule, and because that's literally, literally as crazy. While we're recording this, Ontario, where I live, is shutting down everything. Thank God we have a schedule. I don't even want to think about these shutdowns and bullcrap we're hearing about right now, but that it's amazing they were able to put it together, all these schedules. You know what I mean? Not just Bass, NPFL, like a nightmare to set. Here's an idea: start a bass fishing league and do it while there's a pandemic. So a nightmare, but thankfully we've got a schedule.
Well, I can't reinforce this enough. Like some of the conversations I had with these guys where these cities truly just like yank the rug out from under them, because in the cities, they don't know what's coming. So they don't know if they need to sign this contract where they're going to give X amount of money for a bass tournament that they've never heard of. It's in its first year to come to, and I know Bass faced that. FLW, everybody I know at both of these companies, I know that everybody faced it. So if you're a fan, be glad we got a schedule. If you're an angler, damn sure be glad you got a schedule to fish, and let's fingers crossed that they don't change. Do
you know who else is facing it? It's not just the tours. It's not just you. It's not just me. It's not one. Mike Iaconelli seems confused, Luke. Yeah. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but what the hell is Mike Iaconelli doing in 2021? What's your take?
Man, I think that my take on Mike Iaconelli is, first of all, I love Mike, but if you think you know what he's going to do, you're just wrong most of the time. That's my overall take on Mike, because I've seen it in my comments. I've seen it on his comments. Man, nothing would surprise me. I'm going to say right here, This is my gut. I think Mike does his YouTube thing. I think he probably has some TV stuff cooking, and I think he fishes the Hobie kayak circuit.
Would not be a bad move. Would not be a bad move.
Wouldn't surprise me at all.
I have no idea what Iaconelli is doing in 2021. I mean, I did talk to him and asked him, just like a lot of people, but I think one thing needs to be, pointed out. Mike Iaconelli, I mean, great tournament angler, all sorts of accolades you can give him. He's a freaking master troller. He's literally on the biggest trolling campaign right now, and nobody's talking about it, but I'm the idiot that's man enough to admit it. I shoved a mic in front of that man's face for way too many hours. He is freaking trolling. He's on every freaking podcast there is right now. I don't know, man. I might, if I get an invite to the elites, or, if my show gets picked up, or if my website, or if the moon lines up with Uranus. No, he's got a million. He is trolling right now. Luke, he's out there. And if you look at every freaking decision, I mean, LeBron James, the decision. I mean, LeBron James ripped off freaking Mike Iaconelli. He made it. Every decision that dude has made in his professional career has become a public inquiry. What do you think I should do, people? And I love it. I'm not insulting.
I do too.
I think he's a mastermind, but I've watched him at classics. There's been classics where he didn't catch him, and everybody thought he was leading all day long.
That's
and
right.
Everybody at the trade shows, here, Iaconelli's got a giant bag. Iaconelli's got a giant bag. And then when he doesn't bring a giant bag at the end of the day, they're like, did you hear that wasn't the truth? And again, everybody's talking about Iaconelli. Then there's other ones where he did catch him. He acts like he didn't catch him. You know what I mean? And it all becomes a big story. And then boom, Iaconelli caught him. I mean, dude is a mastermind at manipulating the media. I don't know where he will end up next year, but I do know that when that happens, whenever the snowball stops going down the hill and whenever it rests at the bottom and Iaconelli says, well, this is what I'm going to do, we're all going to freaking know about it.
And talk about it a lot.
Because he's a mastermind at manipulating the media and playing that game.
He's always going to be at the forefront of the news in bass fishing. He's always going to have his name out there. And what was the classic in Charlotte, North Carolina? That time he got DQ'd for fishing in Upland, and because he had a bad first day, and people were like, "Did he do that on purpose?" And you're going,
1,000%.
Of course he did. Of course he did. It's Mike. That was when he was in the Flame jersey too, by the way, which I wish he would bring back. The Flame jersey was amazing.
Yeah, but the Flames got out of control. He started Flames and fishing, and then everything was on fire.
Everything was on fire.
He had like these old pros and walkers that were rolling up and boat wraps that were all flamed out. I mean, it doesn't work for everyone.
No, but it definitely worked for Mike. Dude, I think we'll just know when we'll know. That's how I've been commenting back to people. I'm like, look, man, I know Mike well. You know Mike well. He's not going to tell me and you. Until he's ready to do something with it. It's like when he was going to make his announcement last year, or when he was leaving Bass. Big announcement. Ike Live. Everybody's tuned in. Click. Oh. After 4 hours, he just pulls the plug.
And do you know what happens then? Everybody goes like this to their computer. No! And Iaconelli goes, you see what I just did? And then he denies it the next day. The next day he'll call him and be like, no. Dude, I promise.
It's a glitch.
It was a glitch.
It was a glitch, man.
Son of a glitch.
I've got this just really nice studio with all this amazing equipment, and I had a low budget live-esque glitch.
And to be clear, I'm not saying he's a mastermind and knows what he's doing. I mean, I think it's part of his game he doesn't know, and he knows that the offers will get better the more publicly I make it. You know what I mean? And I could totally see him doing something really, off the wall, like, hey, I'm just going to fish kayak tournaments. It'd be a really smart move. I mean, it's a thing he's into, but I mean, he's a mastermind at manipulating the media. He has done it his whole career. He will do it the whole way through his career. I mean, did you see, his freaking last live or whatever, he's promo for it. He had an announcement that he joined AFCO for clothing, right? Which, I knew that announcement was coming. That's great. Right. That's cool. Nice company, awesome people. Anybody else can make their announcement, that'd be fine. But Iaconelli takes his announcement right beside an Elite Series blue trophy. Is this blue trophy sitting right beside him, and he's like, "Tune in to Ike Live. I have some stuff to talk about. Wonder what it can be. Big stuff. Big changes for me. Wonder what it could be." I mean, I don't know if it can't get a sec, but I mean, I love that about Iaconelli. I'm tired of the media not calling it for what it is.
No.
Ike, you're playing us like a freaking puppet.
Get under a bridge, Mike. Get under a bridge. Troll you. One thing's for sure. It will be after Christmas, I feel like, before we know, Dave. It will be after Christmas.
And it'll be cool.
I would think so. It'll be a great announcement when it happens, for sure. Either way, like that guy's fan base is going to follow him to the freaking moon if that's what he's going to do, and he's going to make whatever he does interesting, and he's going to continue, in my opinion, to grow the sport and give 1,000,000% like he always does, no matter where he's at.
And there's people that he is one of the guys who has probably had, you watch his career, you know what I mean? The evolution of his career, how he went from being, a quiet guy to, then he became Ike, and there's a lot of hate that came with that Ike.
Oh, yeah.
But I will tell you one thing about him, dude, about working events. There is nobody, literally nobody, who will stay and sign and hang with fans longer than Mike Iaconelli, and especially if they're kids. I mean, there's times where you'll see like the venue is getting torn down, and the one fence that's left up is the fence that Ike is leaning against, signing pictures, because
it's insane.
So he deserves every one of those fans, and he will play you. He will play you. His name is Geppetto, and he will play you, and he's a master at it. So I will stay tuned. I can't wait to see how it all works out.
Yeah, I'm, and you would want to say, or I feel like the case will be, it'll be announced on Ike Live. When he does announce it, it's going to be on his show. It's not going to be on anybody else's show. I don't, of course, like he's going to drive you there. He's got an awesome podcast. Those boys do a good job, and he's going to get people there. So you humpers can let us know in the comments what you think about Iaconelli in 2021. I'd like to hear. I've seen some scenarios and some theories thrown out there, but let's hear it. Something else I want to hear, and this is one that MC I'm going to throw to you. This is obviously, we've had Christmas props, we've had reindeer antlers, we've had lots of Christmas goodness.
Yes,
in this, the 9th episode of LD and the MC. What is your worst fishing gift, Christmas fishing gift? And I want to hear this from the humpers in the comments as well. Let's hear it, MC.
My worst humper. I've had a lot of bad humpers.
Hey, don't tell that. My time. Don't tell that story.
Okay, I will not tell that story.
Get rid of the bullshit, Dave. Get rid of the bullshit.
My worst Christmas gift. I mean, it might be a bit of a letdown, but I mean, fishing people. I mean, if you're into fishing, and everybody obviously in my world has known since I was a little kid that this is my passion, it's what I love. So I've got a lot of fishing themed gifts, but I'd say every pro angler in the world will agree that the worst fishing themed gift that we've all received is freaking Billy the Bass. I'm going to tell you, that son of a bitch. I mean, I got 47 Billy the Basses from 47 different people who I love and care about, and who love and care about me. And each one of them, they watched me open that Billy the Bass they sat there. You know, when somebody gets you a gift and they're like, I can't wait to see. And they sit there and they watch, and you can tell they've told people about it. They start nudging their wives, their brothers, their sisters, their kids, and they're like, he's going to open it. He's going to open it.
Check it out.
They open it, and I would open it, and I got used to the shape. I mean, I'm also, I don't know if you realize this about me, but I guess every gift, it's a horrible, it's both a gift and a curse I have, because I know as soon as I grab it, but Billy the Bass was very evident. So I'd start opening it.
It's a dead giveaway.
And half the time you'd be halfway through open and be like, take me to the river. You'd already know. But so I would always open and be like, oh my gosh. And they're like, well, watch what it does. Yeah. And they press the button, it sings. And I lied to every one of you. I'm just going to admit it right here, right now, because I still have that Billy the Bass hanging in my house. And still to this day, when people come to my bar, they see it there and they're like, that's the Billy the Bass.
That's the one.
And I'm like, yeah, that's the very same one. So I'd say the Billy the Bass is by far the worst.
That's top notch. Yeah. And I think that anything that's novelty like that, and people are like, oh, check this out. Check this. Look what I'm going to do for day. And you're right. All 46 of those people were like, got him. Got him. Wait till he opens this. Man. And I feel like that's what it's like being either a hunter or a fisherman, because it's such a broad stroke, right? Like they think, oh, he likes fishing. Let me get him this fishing Monopoly game.
He'll love it. You like fishing? You'll love Fishopoly. You like moose hunting? You'll love a set of moose printed boxer shorts.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I can't name just one. I've had so many fishing themed, or God bless anybody that was like, you know what? He loves fishing. I'm just going to go on my own free will and get him a rod and reel, because especially when you're a serious angler, like I appreciate the gesture, but it's like, maybe you should have just saved your money. Maybe you should have just got me a gift card.
But I'm worried now, because here's what I'm thinking. I mean, I talked about my family and how much they support our little project.
They do. Yes.
And then they listen right away. But I'm worried that somebody is like literally driving, going to go over and see the Dunkins or the Mercers for Christmas. I mean, when you used to be able to go over and see people.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
They got a nice little gift that they ordered 3 or 4 months ago, thinking way ahead. And we have totally
so excited.
Go and have some son of a. That gift has been fired out the window right now. But here's the other
canceled
truth, Luke. I'm going to let you know one of the greatest gifts I've recently got. This will explain to you the loser that I am to make people feel good. One of the best gifts ever. I just got it like days ago. It is literally right in my hands. You know what it is? It's right here. Look at this. What you see what this is? See what that is?
It seems to be a case.
It's a phone case. It's a red phone case. Yes. I love it because I'm so freaking old. When I had the black case that everybody orders when they're young, right?
Yeah, you get the black.
Lose the damn thing. I mean, I cannot forever. I'm like, where is my freaking case? I got a red case and I love it. So, I mean, if you have an
that's your best gift.
Well, that's a good one.
I feel like it's a long ways down from there, Dave.
It's a good one. It's a really, I mean, you may not be, you're a little younger than me, Luke. You may not appreciate it, but one day you'll be like, God, the gift of just finding my freaking phone is the gift that keeps on giving.
Listen, as you get older, and I talked about this on LBL this week a little bit, I think it's strange to ask for gifts, first of all, when you get to be older, right? You got a gift list, like a wish list, because you're like me, you want something cool, or you see something cool, and you're able to afford that, or you feel the need, you buy it. Yeah, man. I don't think you need like a Dear Santa list for your wife. Come on.
But then you get screwed, because in my world, here's what they say. I totally agree. If I see something, I could buy it and whatever. Yeah. And I love giving gifts more than getting them.
Me too. Absolutely.
But what I hate is my freaking family is horrible at giving gifts. I mean, really, I'm great at it. I really am. And I think it's just because I'm not. I'm a listener. I'm a lover. I'm a lover of people. So I listen to what they like and I haven't shut up for 12 minutes telling you how much of a lover and a listener I am. So that shows you how good of a listener I am. But they're horrible at giving gifts. But this is what they do to me. They tell me for I got a 6 months emporium around Christmas. I can't buy shit. I can't buy myself a new pair of socks because
I'm out on that. I'm out on that.
That's bullcrap. Yeah. I mean, and then you open Christmas, you're like, I hope somebody got me that handy freaking thingamajig. It doesn't show up.
Dude, I went this Saturday and bought this microphone for this show because of my audio woes. Hopefully it's better this week. And my wife is giving me hell. She's like, well, I could have got you that for Christmas. I'm like, but I need it now. I don't need it for Christmas. I need it now.
Was she going to get you that?
No, I don't know what she got me. I did get a microphone last year, but
I hope you get a humper. I mean, you bought that for the humpers is what I was saying.
Yes, for the humpers.
But the mic for the humpers.
The mic is for the humpers. Yes.
About time you could hear you. It was like friggin' doing a podcast with Charlie Brown's teacher. Sorry.
Okay. And you know, this is how I know how good you are as a friend is you didn't even let me know till like 3 episodes in that I sounded like I was in a barrel. So I had to read it in the comments. I had to get made fun of, and now I've got a better microphone.
Wait a second. I never once said, "Hey, Dunkin, you sound like shit."
Yeah, you did a lot, actually. I was just ignoring you. You know what? I'm the podcast guy here, okay? I'm the podcast here, Dave. I've been doing this. I've got audio equipment and experience. TV
Listen,
guy.
did you have a worse gift, or was it just generally fishing themed gifts?
No, it's just generally fishing theme gifts. I can't think of one that was just a lot worse. And I got the Billy Bass, like that brought back. I mean, I don't think I got 40, but I got those. I remember getting 47 Billy the Bass. I remember getting one of those when I was in high school at I worked for a tackle company, and I got one of those at the work Christmas party from this lady I worked with. And it was the same thing. She's so excited. And I'm like, this thing. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think my aunt got me one of those as well. And it wasn't funny then. It's not funny. It's some really annoying damn thing. Dude, that whoever came up with Billy Bass.
Oh,
dude, so much money.
The
so
restaurant,
much money.
You've been to that restaurant in Little Rock, Arkansas, right?
Oh, yeah.
Billy the Bass. Well, what is that? Oh, they're going to kill me when next time I go to JM Studios. They eat there all the time. The flying fish, I think it is.
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
it's the flying fish,
right.
but it's like the entire wall is just Billy the Bass's, like, because everybody has no place to be. And I just, while we're doing this, I also realized I probably shouldn't have told that story, Luke, because now there is roughly 46 people that I regifted Billy the Bass to that have just busted. I'm sorry, but I think I can fix it right here, Luke. I think I can bring it all back together. Okay, I'm sorry that I regifted.
Put a nice little bow on it.
But I'd like to give a gift to all of us. And listen, let's be honest. This was a year full of lockdowns, lockouts, face masks, and just general bullshit. It's just, I don't care where you are politically, health-wise, it sucked. Okay, nobody wanted this. Other than maybe Amazon and the shipping companies, or maybe Walmart.
Looking at you, FedEx.
But let's end it right. And this is something I saw floating around the internet. We're not inventing this, but we're embracing this, okay? And I'm encouraging every one of our humpers that listens here, even the low-lifers that listen on Monday, all of you, whether you're a low-lifer, whether you're a low-life humper, or whether you're just a straight-up, we got three combinations happening.
A lumper. I kind of like the lumpers as well.
Lumpers?
The lumpers.
There is some lumpers.
There's some lumpers.
I've humped a few lumpers. Sorry, I digress. But let me get back to my good moment. Here's how we're going to make Christmas better for all of us, for the world. And it doesn't cost you any money. It just takes 1 minute of your time. Here's what I want everybody to do. So many different lockdowns and so many different regulations and bull crap. You can't have parades. But the one thing you can do is you can walk out front of your door. You can walk on your porch. You can walk in the alley. You can walk in the balcony in front of your apartment. It doesn't matter where you live. And at 6 o'clock on Christmas Eve, wherever you live in the world, anywhere in the world, I want to encourage everybody to go outside and for 1 minute, just ring bells. Whether they're bells on your shirt like this or whether they're I got freaking bells. Whether they're cowbells, go out there and ring some bells. Ring, ding, dong, ring, ding, 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 dong. I'm asking you to ring, ding, dong at 6 o'clock on Christmas Eve. Doesn't matter what time zone you're in. Spread it. You might be the only one in your street that's doing it, or you might go out there and find 20 other people doing it. But bottom line, it's going to spread the Christmas spirit, and it's just going to make somebody smile. And after the end of the year that we've had, they deserve to smile, man. I mean, so 6 o'clock, wherever you live, ring a bell.
Ring it. And I think that you really put an exclamation point, Dave, on this entire episode. But on the entire 9 episodes we've done, you hit the nail on the head right there for me. Is we deserve to have some fun. We deserve to smile. We deserve to laugh. And for those of you who like to comment, we kicked this show off with Mom's Base Moment. Dave and I want to have fun. LD and the MC was designed to cover some serious things, to have adult conversations and debates and different things, but to have fun. Dave and I like to laugh, and we appreciate each and every one of you that have joined in so far in these 9 episodes and laugh along with us. Even if we get a little too silly sometimes for you, or maybe we're not silly enough, but we appreciate each and every one of you that listen and have, watched on YouTube, man, or Facebook or Instagram. I know I speak for the MC in saying thank you. And we hope all of you have a Merry Christmas, because damn, we all need it this year.
Yeah,
I think
sure
more than
do.
ever.
And me and you have a hard time with this weird, we kind of hit the like, subscribe thing. But I mean, we're just learning about this world. It's important for you to like this right away, because we got the freaking algorithm is cross-threaded with your.
If I ever meet algorithm, if I ever meet him, not gonna be good.
I'm gonna be drinking some algorithm here over the holidays.
Yes, for sure. But guys, make sure you're subscribed to both the Facts of Fishing YouTube channel, Luke Dunkin's Traveling Circus. We appreciate all that. Make sure you're following on Instagram, Facebook, all of that good stuff. And we appreciate you so much giving us this opportunity again to bring you Humpers, LD,
and the MC. And we'll see you wherever you live at 6 o'clock on Christmas Eve. Start it off right. Bring it in.
Bring it.